Piali no mamachtikawan, kenihki initztoke, namanti momachtise tlen ika, inexkatlamantli, ixneskatlamantli, wan nohkia toishayak. Hi everyone, today we're going to be learning about the colors of things or colors in general and some words for our face or faces. So I am going to share the screen so you can see the lesson. And let me know if there's any technical difficulties. All right. I think that's good. Let me make sure I can see the participants, so in case somebody wants to come in. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with, you're going to learn about colors. You're going to learn about how to say light and dark colors in Nahuatl. And I'm only going to talk about some words of the face because actually, eventually we should or will have a class on body parts. But for now, I just wanted to keep it simple. So hopefully there's not too much vocabulary in this lesson. There are a lot of new words because there's a lot of colors. Okay, so hopefully it's not too much. That's why I didn't want to overwhelm you with vocabulary. All right, so we're gonna start with Xochipaltik. Xochipaltik. ¿Cuál? Xochipaltik. Xochipaltik. Oh yeah, Xochipaltik. Xochipaltik. Xihuitl, Xochipaltik. So I had to change it to Xihuitl because there are no green flowers. So Xihuitl, Xochipaltik. Xihuitl, Xochipaltik. 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 Xochipawak. Xochipawak. And Miston Yahyawik. Miston Yahyawik. And Cuauitl Kafentik. Cuauitl Kafentik. Okay, so now I'm going to go over them again so that in case you need to write them down or in case you need to remember them. And I'll tell you a little bit about some of the colors. Okay, so we have Xochipaltik. Xochipaltik. So this is red, right? This word chichiltik, it comes from the word for Chile. So this is saying chiltik. So if you want to remember that chiles are red, and the reason that there's two CH is something that Nahuatl does, which is called reduplication. Nahuatl likes to re-emphasize words or re-emphasize syllables to pluralize them or to emphasize them. So in the word chichiltik, it's really saying like red, red, or chile, chile. But and then we'll talk about tik. So basically, if you want to remember red as chiles are red, you can remember chichiltik. All right, then we have the word kostik. Kostik, Xochipaltik. Also for this sentence, remember there's no is. So this sentence, which is Xochipaltik, it means the flower is yellow. ¿Cuál? So Xochipaltik. ¿Cuál? Xochipaltik. So notice for this word, we're combining the color red, chili, and we're combining yellow, caustic. So chilcaustic, it means orange. So we're combining yellow with orange. Sorry, yellow with red. Chilcaustic becomes orange. ¿Cuál? Xihuitl xochoctic. Xihuitl xochoctic. And Xochipaltik. Okay, so you're probably wondering like, why is it azultic and what's the actual word for blue in Nahuatl? So in modern times, the word that they use is azultic, and that's because the word for blue has changed a lot. And I looked it up in classical times, and it was texotic. And so I don't know why in Huasteca Nahuatl they don't use that word. They use azultic. and it's borrowed from Spanish. But other varieties do have different words for different colors. And so what you may see, if me telling you the colors are in our variety of Nahuatl, it may be different from other varieties of Nahuatl. But in the Huasteca region, they say azultic. You might see other varieties use a different color or a different word for this. Okay, we have Xochipaltik, camotic. This word camotic, purple, comes from the word camotli, which is camote. I think it's a red, what is it called? Sweet potato. Sweet potato. So apparently they see them as like purple. So that's why they call them camotic. Camotic. Okay, ¿cuál? Xochipawak. So the word chipawak, in classical times actually meant clean. So this word chipawak, it means white in the Huasteca region, but in other regions, the word chipawak, it means clean. And in other regions, they don't say chipawak, they say istak for white. So you need to be aware of that. The word istak comes from the word istat, which means salt, and salt is white. Whereas chipawak comes from the word for clean, and so something clean is white, quote unquote. All right, ¿cuál? Miston yahyawik. Miston yahyawik. This word yahyawik is also a reduplication of a word which is yawik. And apparently I looked up this word because I was curious about where the word for black came from in this variety. And I believe this comes from the word yawik. And yawik is a type of corn that is either brown or black. So I think this word yawik comes from that word for corn, which is yawik, a specific type of corn. And then other varieties may not call this yayawik. They might say tliltik. Tliltik is black, and it literally means like ink colored, from the word tlili, which is ink. All right, ¿cuál? And then the last word is the word cafentic. This is also a borrowed word from Spanish, from the word café. Obviously, they had the word for brown before. I don't know what they used to use in the Huasteca region, but right now they use cafentic. Other varieties probably use something else. I looked up other varieties, and some of them say chocolatic, which is like chocolate colored. That makes sense, chocolatic. But in our variety, they say cafentic from the word coffee. All right. So, okay. Oh, somebody's trying to come into the class. All right, so one last time. So I hopefully all those tips about where the words come from may help you remember these colors. And now I'm just going to tell you the sentences again to reemphasize the words, because there's like a whole bunch of new words that hopefully you can memorize, basically. Okay, so inin xochitl chichiltik, inin xochitl kostik, inin xochitl chilkostik, inin xihuitl xoxoctic, inin xochitl azultic, inin xochitl camohtic, inin xochitl chipawak, inin miston yahyawik, inin cuahuitl cafentic. Oh, another thing I want to point out, the word cuahuitl, you may notice that this word, it means multiple things. Cuahuitl, it can mean tree, but it can also mean wood, or it can also mean a stick. So here I have a picture of wood, and that's why I'm saying cuahuitl cafentic, but I could have had a picture of a stick, or I could have had a picture of a tree and said cuahuitl cafentic. The tree is brown, or the stick is brown, or the piece of wood is brown. So this word cuahuitl has multiple meanings. All right, so you're probably wondering, how do you say what color is it in Nahuatl? And the word for saying what color is something is, or how to ask that question in Huasteca Nahuatl is tlen y ixnesca. Tlen y ixnesca. The word tlen, you should know by now, means what. And then I'm going to break down what this word y ixnesca means, or where it comes from. Okay, so this y ixnesca, it really comes from the word ixnescayotl. Ixnescayotl. So we're saying what, and this means appearance or color. So when we're saying tlen y ishneska, we're saying what is its appearance or what is its color. Okay, so this word ishneskayot can be broken down into other parts. The first part, the ish, comes from the word ishtli, which is a classical word that used to mean either face or eyes. Okay, face or eyes, or I should have put on their surface, because surface is another translation for that. And then nesi, it means to appear. And ka is a connector. Remember from last week or a couple weeks ago when we learned when you possess an agent, you add ka as like a connector. So ka doesn't have a meaning, it's just a connector. And then there's yot, it means like ness or itty. So like in English, like happiness. When you add ness to something, or that's what this yot basically means. It's an abstraction. So it's essentially, this is basically saying like, the surface appearance-ness of something, ishnes, kayot. And these words that end in kayot, when they are possessed, they become ka. So this ishnes kayot, if you possess it, it becomes ishneska, no ishneska, mo ishneska, in mo ishneska, to ishneska, etc. When they're possessed, the yot goes away. Sometimes they keep the yo, but sometimes they don't. And in this case, they didn't. So tleni ishneska is what is its appearance? What is its color? So that's how you ask somebody, what color is it? I want to say that other varieties say it slightly different. Tleni ishneska, what color is it? What's its appearance? Oh yeah, I already explained that. When you possess these words that end in yot, the yot goes away and it becomes ishneska. And I did already point out that the names of the colors are different in every region. I would say that the majority of them, like 80, 90% of them are exactly the same, but here and there, some of the colors are different. So if you might hear people say, oh, well, in my variety, we say gray this way. That's why I didn't put gray on here, because it's a mess. We say the word gray this way, or we say the word blue this way. And so you're just gonna be like, yes, okay, because they do, it varies a lot. So just be aware that these are the words that I'm telling you, but there are other words for the colors. All right, so now I'm gonna ask you to unmute yourself and I'm gonna ask you, tlen y ishneska inin. Tlen y ishneska inin. All right, so tlen y ishneska inin.
Inin Xochipaltik.
¿Cuál? Y I wrote it as ishneska inin chichiltik. I mean, there's multiple answers to this, but I'm saying its color is the color of this is red, but whatever, yeah. Ishneska inin chichiltik. ¿Cuál? Tlen ishneska inin?
Ishneska Chipawak.
¿Cuál? ¿Cuál? Ishneska inin chipawak. ¿Cuál? Tlen ishneska inin?
Inin eshka kostik.
Kostik, Ishneska. Ishneska, ¿cuál? Ishneska inin kostik, or ishneska kostik, or just kostik, whatever you want to say. ¿Cuál? Ishneska inin kostik. ¿Cuál? Tlen ishneska inin?
Ishneska inin chichiltik.
¿Cuál? Ishneska inin chichiltik. ¿Cuál? Tlen ishneska inin?
Ishneska inin chilkostik.
Chilkostik. ¿Cuál? Ishneska inin chilkostik. Tlen ishneska inin? Oh, I guess this is the better color, but whatever. Close enough. Tlen ishneska inin?
Ineshka inin kafentik.
Okay. ¿Cuál? I thought it was green, but yes. Ishneska inin Xochipaltik. But I could see why you could think it's brown. Kuali. Tlen ishneska inin.
Inisneska inin azultik.
Azultik. Kuali. Ishneska inin azultik. Kuali. Tlen ishneska inin.
Inineshka inin chipawak.
Aha. Ishneska inin chipawak. Kuali. Tlen ishneska inin.
Inisneska inin xoxoktik.
Xochipaltik. Kuali. Ishneska inin Xochipaltik. Kuali. Tlen ishneska inin.
Ishnestak inin azultik.
Azultik. Kuali. Ishneska inin azultik. Kuali. Tlen ishneska inin.
Isneska inin chipawak Juan chilkostik.
Kuali. Aha. I didn't put under Chipawak, but I meant to put Chipawak in there. Ishneska inin chilkostik one Chipawak. Yes, so, kuali. Tlen ishneska inin.
In ishneska inin kamostik.
Kamotik. Kuali. Ishneska inin kamotik.
Can I
Tlen
say? Oh, sorry. I
sorry.
was just going to say that kamote is not sweet potato. It's a yam, which is purple.
I don't know the difference. But thanks
Okay.
for the clarification. So they are purple then. Okay.
Yes.
There you go. Well, clearly I don't know the difference. But they're purple, and that's the point.
Yeah.
So you can remember that. I remember that they're purple. Don't know what they are, but I know they're purple. Okay, Kuali. Tlen ishneska inin.
Ineshka inin yayawik.
Kuali. Inin ishneska yayawik. Kuali. Tlen ishneska inin. I guess you can kind of, depends what you think that color is, but okay. Tlen ishneska inin.
Ishnestak inin koastik. Kostik.
Kostik. Ishneska inin kostik. I thought maybe somebody would say, oh, it's white. I don't know. Maybe it is. Okay. Tlen ishneska inin.
Isneka.
Inisnes-
Okay.
Dale.
Okay. Isneka inin kafentik. Kafentik.
Kafentik. Kafentik. Kuali. All right. So Nahuatl does have a way of distinguishing between light and dark colors. So here is how you do it. So we have here Xochipaltik. So that one you should know by now. And on the left, we have Xochipaltik. Xochipaltik. And on the right, we have Xochipaltik. Xochipaltik. Okay. We have here Kamotik. Kamotik. And then we have Akamotik. Akamotik. And Nelkamotik. We have Xochipaltik, Xochipaltik, and Xochipaltik. Okay, so I want to talk to you about in general for the words for colors. Most of them are going to end with the word tic. You even saw the one that was cafentic, which was borrowed from Spanish. It ends in tic. And you'll notice that a lot of not just colors, but adjectives in general, in Nahuatl, generally end in tic. Not all of them, some of them don't. Like you saw yayawik, it doesn't end in tic. Or chipawak doesn't end in tic. But for the most part, this tic, it has that idea of, it has like that the item possesses like the qualities of it's like it. So like you saw camotic, it means camote or camotli from Nahuatl. So when you're saying camotic, you're really saying like camote like or having the qualities of camote. So there are other adjectives in Nahuatl that also end in tic. For example, there's the word for strong, or one of the words for strong, which is tetic, T-E-T-I-C, tetic. Okay, that word, it comes from the word tet. Tet means rock. So tetic is saying like a rock, tetic. Now, of course, with all these adjectives, you don't actually know what quality they're about that object that they're actually referring to. And so in some situations, you're going to be like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But in some, you kind of have to look deeper into the origin of that word. But for the most part, it does make a lot of sense. That word for strong, which is tetic, that's one word, tetic. But then there's also the other word, chikawak, which comes from the verb chikawa, which means to become strong. So chikawak means something that is already strong, something like that, something that is already strong. So chikawak means strong. So even though that's not one of the ones that end in tic, you'll notice that most adjectives don't end in the letter C, because most adjectives come from either verbs or nouns, and that adds that like quality, basically. But most adjectives you're going to see end in tic. Okay, and then that's why colors end in tic, because they're adjectives. Okay, and then you also saw that to make a color light, it was going to be a, and that a prefix, it comes from the word at, water. It's kind of like saying like water, like watered out color. Like a chichiltik is red, but a chichiltik is like a watered out red. That's why it's like light red. This is coming from the word at. So chichiltik is red, a chichiltik is like watered down red, which is a light red. Okay, and then this word nel, it means dark color in this when it's attached to like a noun. I mean to one of these colors. Nel chichiltik, really, but it's really coming from the word nelia, which means truly or really. So right now we're only using this word nel to mean like dark or strongly or strong in color, but it really comes from the word truly. So when you say chichiltik versus nel chichiltik, Nahuatl is literally saying like truly red or really red, something like really red. And you'll see later that you can use this prefix nel to mean really. Like if I want to say, if you put this nel in front of like a word like any verb, like for example, niyolpaktok, I am happy, and you say nel niyolpaktok, you're saying I am really happy or I am truly happy. So this nel means like truly or very or yeah, or really. So that's what explains why those colors, why adding those prefixes into those colors makes them either light or dark. Quali. So now I'm going to teach you about the words of the face. So inin itzontekon tlacatl. Inin itzontekon tlacatl. Inin ishayak tlacatl. Inin ishayak tlacatl. Inin ixtiyol tlacatl. Inin ixtiyol tlacatl. Inin iyakatzol tlacatl. Inin ikamak tlacatl. Inin ikamak tlacatl. Okay, so to review it again, because I know there's 5 new words, we have inin itzontekon tlacatl. So this word itzontekon literally means his hair, his jar made with hair, or his jar of hair. So this is coming from the word tecomit. Tecomit is a jar, and tzontli means hair or this is an old word for we'll see later. Tzoncal is what they use in modern Nahuatl, but in classical Nahuatl, the word tzontli, it meant hair. That's why sentzontli, which means 400, it's really talking about how, like, that's the word that they would use for the number 400, but sentzontli is like, they're saying like you have 400 hairs in your head. That's where that word tzontli comes from. So this itzontecon literally means his jar with hair, or his jar of hair, which is talking about his whole head. Itzontecon, that's where that word comes from. Okay, inin ishayak tlacat. This word ishayak, remember I told you that that the word ishtli used to mean face. So I don't know what this ayak means, but ish is still stayed as like the part that indicates face. So we have ishayak to mean face, ishayak, and other varieties do use ishayak. So I don't know if any of them use ishtli. They may use ishtli, but as far as I know, most varieties use ishayak. Okay, and then we have the word ishtiyol. Ishtiyol, I guess ishtiyoli kind of means like the heart of the face, the heart of the face. Anyways, so ishtiyol is eyes. Ishtiyol is the way that they say it in Huasteca. However, the central varieties say ishtelolotli. So they say no ishtelolol, ishtelolol. So instead of saying inin ishtiyol tlacat, they might say inin ishtelolol tlacat. Just letting you know there's other ways to say this. And then we have iyakatzol tlacat. Other varieties might say iyaka. I think it's yaka, just yaka, not yakatzol. Anyways, quali. And then we have ikamak tlacat. You may notice this word kamak. You may maybe you do or don't know, but one of the ways to say to speak in Nahuatl is the word kamati. So that word kamati, it comes from this word kamak. Kamak means mouth. So in some varieties, and even in our variety, you can say ni kamati, N-I-C-A. The verb is kamati, and kamati means to speak. Ni kamati, that's one way to say to speak. And in our variety, there's also ni saniloa, I speak. And then other varieties might say ni tlahtoa, to speak. And I understand all three. But that word kamati, to speak, it comes from this word kamak, which means mouth. Quali. All right. One thing that's very important for you to know about body parts is body parts must always be possessed in Nahuatl. What does that mean? It means that you will never see the word kamak by itself. Never. It's always attached to a possessor of some sort. Always. So here it's saying inin y kamak tlacat. This mouth is being possessed by this tlacat. Okay, so if I'm gonna say my mouth, it'd be no kamak, mo kamak, your mouth, I kamak, his or her mouth, to kamak, our mouth, in mo kamak, y'all's mouths, inin kamak, their mouths. Notice that there's no plural because, oh, I put their mouth, but it could mean their mouths, I guess. There's no plural because the mouth is inanimate. But Nahuatl requires you to always possess it. So you're probably thinking like, well, what about those situations where I don't know whose mouth I'm talking about? And I guess it sometimes, yeah, you're right, you don't know. So in that case, Nahuatl would put the word tekamak. So we would put this te in here. If you remember from previous classes, this te means it belongs to someone. So Nahuatl wouldn't just say mouth, you wouldn't just say kamak, you would say tekamak, somebody's mouth, but somebody has to possess it in Nahuatl. This goes out for body parts, but it also applies to family members. So if you remember when we say notatsin, no nonansin, those are all family members. Well, Nahuatl requires those to always be possessed. So it's never just nantli. Even though nantli is the root word of the word for mother, well, Nahuatl requires you to say whose mother it is. And if you don't know whose mother it is, then it's tenan, somebody's mother. You add this te in front of it. So body parts and relatives, they require a possessor. You need to say who does it belong to? Who does that person belong to, I guess? All right. Tlen inin. What is this? Okay. Now you can unmute yourself and I'm going to ask you tlen inin. Okay. Quali. Tlen. Oh, I hope wait. I might have. Okay. Yes. So I didn't do it backwards. Okay. Quali. Tlen inin.
Inin deson tecon.
You got very close, but it's not teson. It's very close to teson.
Iteson tecon.
Itzon.
Itzon, sorry. Okay, itzon.
You added an extra e there.
Okay. Itzon
Inin.
tecon.
Tecon. Lacat.
Tecon. Okay.
Itzon tecon. Quali. Tlen inin.
Tlen inin iishayak.
Kena. Inin y shayak. Tlacatl. Quali. Tlen inin. It looks like he has glasses.
Inin istiol tlacatl.
Kena. Inin y ishtiol tlacatl. Quali. Tlen inin.
Inin Iyakatzol Tlacat.
Kena. Inin y yakatl tlacatl. Quali. Tlen inin.
Inin ikamak tlacatl.
Quali. Inin y kamak tlacatl. Quali. So now I'm going to ask you, tlen ishneska inin. Tlen ishneska inin. Okay. Tlen ishneska inin.
Ishneska yayakwik.
Okay. You consider that black?
Yeah, Gemma.
I guess. I consider it brown, like maybe a dark brown. But
That could be my screen.
okay. Well, because normally eagles are not black, but I get it. All right. I say inin kafentik. And maybe if you say it's really dark, we could have said inin nel kafentik. We could have said nel kafentik there. If you know, it is pretty dark. It's not super brown, like not obvious brown. Okay, quali. Tlen ishneska inin.
Tlen, Inishneska Chipawak.
The word tlen is a question.
Right,
It's not always a question, but when saying tlen, you're saying what?
right. I meant to say inin. Now I can't think of that word anymore. Inineshka Chipawak.
Ishneska chipawak. Quali? Inin ishneska chipawak. Quali? Tlen ishneska inin.
Inishneska kostik.
Ishneska kostik. Quali? Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna ask you. Tlen ishneska itzontekon quawit. Tlen ishneska itzontekon quawit. Quahtli. I said quawit. I meant quahtli. Tlen ishneska quahtli. Itzontekon quahtli. Tlen ishneska itzontekon quahtli.
Itzontekon.
Go ahead, Adrian.
No. Shia, Edgar, go ahead. Shia.
Itzonteco Chipawak one Kostik.
Okay, Kena. Itzontekon chipawak. But yeah, I could see the kostik because of this. Quali? Tlen ishneska y istiyol cuahtli. Tlen ishneska istiyol cuahtli. Or tlen ishneska istiyol. We don't really need the cuahtli. I don't know if you can tell what colors they are.
I'm gonna guess, is it Ishneska Xochipaltik? I can't really tell the color.
Oh, it is hard to tell. I think it's white and black, but I don't think they have green colored eyes, right?
Blue.
No, I don't.
I don't think
Yeah, I can't really tell the color that well.
I think it's Xochipaltik.
You think it's Xochipaltik? Really? I don't know. I thought it was white, but I could see how it's confusing. It's because I think this color right here, yeah, but I think it's white. I don't know what color it is, honestly. I said it was white, but okay, fine. Xochipaltik maybe, ¿cuál? Y Xtiol Chipahua Cuanyayawik. I thought it was black and white. Who knows? Tlen Ishneska Ishayak. Tlen Ishneska Ishayak. Ishayak Siwatl. I think it's a woman. Who knows? Tlen Ishneska Ishayak Siwatl. Tlen Ishneska Ishayak.
Inin Ishyak
Ishneska.
Ishneska Siwat.
Tlen. You told me her color, woman, but you didn't say what the color was.
Chipawak.
Kena. Ishayak Chipawak. Ishayak Chipawak. Tlen Ishneska Ikamak.
Ikamak Ishneska Xochipaltik.
Kena. Ikamak Chichiltik or Ikamak Ishneska Chichiltik or Ishneska Ikamak Chichiltik. Nahuatl is so flexible. Tlen Ishneska Ishtiyol. And I'm talking about the makeup around her eyes, not her actual eyes, because I can't tell what color her eyes are.
Ishtiol Yayawik Yayatik Yawat.
Yayawik?
Yayawik Wan Chichiltik.
Okay. I thought it was orange, but yes. Ishtiol Yayawik Wan Chilkostik, but I could see how you could think it's red. Quali? All right. Tlen Ishneska Michin.
Michin Ishneska Kostek Juan Azultek Juan Chipawak.
Quali? Michin Azulti Kosti Juan Chipawak. Or Ishneska Michin Azulti. We could put Ishneska all over the place here. Before or after Michin. Yeah, Michin Ishneska Azultik or Ishneska Michin Azultik. Yeah, so either before or after we could put Ishneska in there if we wanted to. But in Nahuatl, remember the is always there. So Michin Azultik, it means the fish is blue. So we don't really even need anything. Just Michin Azultik Kosti Juan Chipawak. The fish is blue, yellow, and white. Wali. Tleni Ishneska Ikamak. Ikamak michin tleni ishneska.
Ikamak koshti.
Kena. Ikamak kostik. Ikamak michin kostik. Or michin ikamak kostik. Quali. Or just ikamak kostik. Or just kostik. There's so many ways to say it. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't point out the eyes. Okay, I meant to point out the eye. Hold on. Now you're gonna see the answer. Well, it's not like you didn't know anyway. Okay. Well, there we go. Back to the presentation. Well, now you know that I was gonna ask you about the eye. Tleni ishneska ishtiol. Tleni ishneska ishtiol. I guess there's multiple answers depending on how you see it. Tleni ishneska ishtiol. Michin.
Michin istio yayawak.
Okay. Yayawik. Okay. I considered it dark blue, so I called it Nel Azultik. But I could see how you could think it's black. It's kind of hard to tell. Quali? Oh, wow. This is one of those. What time is it? Oh, okay, good. It's not too bad. I thought it was going to be, it's hard to predict how long the class is going to last sometimes. Okay, so in summary, these are all the colors, in case you were wondering. These are not all the only colors. There are some colors in here that I didn't put. I didn't put in there the word for pink because there is a word for pink, but it means hot pink, and that word is cuahuencho, and it's hot pink color. But I couldn't find the word for just pink by itself. I'm guessing it might be achichiltic or something like that, but I'm not sure exactly how you would say it. Or they might say rosa and borrow it from Spanish. There's also the word for gray I didn't put in there. I don't remember the word for gray. I just didn't put in there. And then there's any other colors that I forgot. I don't know if I forgot any other colors, but basically these are the main ones. And of course, if you remember, you could add a or nel in front of it to make it light color or dark color. Ishneskayot, it means color or appearance. So when I'm saying tleni ishneska, I'm really asking you what is it? What is its appearance or what's its color? Oh, shoot. Next. Freaking, I hate when it does that. Sorry. Super annoying. Hold on. Patience. Okay. Itzontekon, his or her head. Ishayak, his or her face. Ikamak, his or her mouth. Ishtiol, his or her eyes. Iyakatzol, his or her nose. I didn't add more body parts, but maybe in the future we will. There's names for almost everything in Nahuatl in terms of a body part, but I didn't want to overwhelm you. Next week, I'm gonna take a break next week, but the week after that, we're gonna have noun incorporation. Noun incorporation is when you can take a noun in Nahuatl and insert it into another noun or a verb. So I'm gonna teach you how to do that in Nahuatl and teach you some interesting stuff about that. And you can also, with noun incorporation, you can insert regular nouns in there into other nouns, and you could also insert regular, those nouns like teacher into other nouns. So I'll show you how to do that next week, no, 2 weeks from now, because next week I'm going to take a break. All right. Tlazokamati miak, everybody who has donated, I really appreciate it. And I'm going to leave it up to Tlatlanilistli, if you have any. Tlatlanilistli.
Is there a word for bright?
Bright?
Yeah, like you said, hot pink, like bright pink. Like would you say Nel Rosa or?
I think there is. Let me look that up. I think there is. Oh, Pepetlaca. Pepetlaca means that it shines. I think you say like that. Pepetlani or Petlani. Let me look it up, but Pepetlaca means to shine. So maybe you say Xochipaltik tlen Pepetlaca, red that shines. Pepetlaca. Tlen Pepetlaca, which shines. But let me double check for you if there is a different word for bright. I'm going to look it up right now. My dictionary is taking forever. Right. Let's see. Oh, wrong one. Wrong part of the dictionary. Oh, brillante. Okay, let's see. Oh, sotlani, sparkly. Huh. Huh. Guerrero has the word sotlani for sparkly. Sparkle, let's see for sparkle. Sparkle. Tlapepetlaca. Oh, tlapepetlaca. Pepetlaca. For something to sparkle in the sun or under light. That's not exactly what you meant, huh? All I can find is the word pepetlaca, but that means like to sparkle under the sun or under light. So I'm not sure if they would use tlen pepetlaca to mean like a bright red. I'm not sure.
In my, I have one of those Nahuatl apps that you recommended.
Yep.
And Xochipaltik is actually beige. Is that, would that be in Huasteca, Xochipaltik beige, or would it be in some other
I
dialect?
believe there is a word for beige in the Huasteca. Let me look it up for you. I believe there is, and I think it is Xochipaltik, but I don't remember 100%. But yeah, I believe there is a word for beige. There are now, even though I taught you these basic colors, there are specific colors that have their name. So I didn't give you every single color. And I believe in the personal lexicon, are the colors categorized? They might be categorized. So if you look under the left-hand side of the program, which my program's not working, is there? Oh yeah, there is. If you go into the personal lexicon program on the left-hand side, you know how all those words are categorized? Well, there is a whole, maybe like 30, 40 of all the color-related words. What is it? They're already categorized for you. So maybe let's see. Let's see if I can find beige. Guaguencho, rojo claro. Chichiltic is there. Chiltic. Formarse, green, light gray color, light orange color. Achilcostic, light red color. Tenextic. Oh, so Tenextic is gray. Tenextic and Tenextic is light gray. Where is beige? Maybe there is. I'm pretty sure I've seen beige before. Tecolotic. Tecolotic is yellowish color. Maybe tecolotic. Achilcostic. To become. Let me see if I can find just beige. I looked it up, like just looking it up, but I can't find it. But Xochipaltik does make sense because it's clearly coming from the word chocolate.
Yeah.
So for me, it's probably, I would probably understand that.
Yeah. I was just wondering because you mentioned is a different other languages or other dialects might use.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
As brown. So I was just wondering.
Xochipaltik, I would definitely think would be brownish color.
Okay.
Because of the chocolate word in there.
Thank you.
Okay, I found Xochipaltik for rosa. Xochipaltik, Mexicana, and Neshtik for gray. Yes, so in Huasteca, the word for gray is Tenextic. So that's very similar to the word Neshtik. It's probably this te is probably from the word tet, which is rock, and Neshtik. Not sure where Neshtik comes from, probably from Nessie. So the Tenextic appears like a rock. I'm not sure where the Nessie comes from, Neshtik, but that's clearly from Nessie, which means to appear. or maybe it comes from the word Nestle. I'm not sure. Xochipaltik. I've seen Xochipaltik. So I don't know why there's a k there, Xochipaltik, but it's probably Xochipaltik. Pali is the color. So Xochipaltik with an L. And this might be that this L was there, and then in that variety that you found Xochipaltik, that L became a C. But Xochipaltik, it means the color of flowers. So the word pali, it means paint, to paint. Tlapali, a painting. Tlapali. So Xochipali would mean like the color of flowers, or the painting of flowers. Xochipali. So Xochipaltik would mean like the color of flowers. So that word for rosa kind of makes sense. Saying like the color of a flower, which you could, I guess, assume would be the color for pink. So maybe Xochipaltik is the way that they say it in that variety. That doesn't surprise me too much. Let's see if in our variety we find Xochipaltik or Xochi. I'll try Xochipaltik, but I'm pretty sure I would be looking under more Xochipaltik. Xochipaltik. So Xochipal, it means, in classical means peach or apricot. Xochipali, color rubio. Oh, that's in classical times though. Okay. Yes, so in classical times, the word Xochipaltia, it meant to turn pink. And the word Xochipaltik with an L, not Xochipaltik, in classical times meant something pink or something blonde. And it probably comes from the word Xochipal, which apparently means peach, like a peach or an apricot. So I guess in classical times or in the past, they saw a peach or an apricot as either pink or blonde color. So Xochipaltik is another way to say pink. In classical, I don't know what they use in modern Huasteca Nahuatl, but in classical, Xochipaltik was pink. So it makes sense. And probably some varieties of Nahuatl currently still have the word Xochipaltik as pink. Wally. Any other questions? I like Xochipaltik. I think, you know how I use bright colors on my art? Well, I know that I talked to my Nahuatl teacher about like all my art and stuff, and I'm pretty sure when I told her about my bright colors, I told her the colors that shine. Tlen pepetlaka. So I'm pretty sure that's how you would say like a bright red or a bright yellow or etc. You would say like Kostik tlen pepetlaka, because I believe that's how I said it with my teacher. It's saying like something like the yellow that shines. Even though it's not like a real shine, it's like a metaphorical shine. I think that's how you would say it. I'm not sure though. But I believe that's how I expressed it when I talked to my teacher about my bright colored art.
Cool.
I think that's how you would express it. Quali. Any other questions about colors, body parts? Amo Inkipia Tlatlanilistli. Y'all don't have questions? Tlan Ashkana Inkipia Timoitase Chikweyiyok. If you all don't have any, we'll see each other next week.
But next week you're not on, right?
Sorry, 2 weeks from now. I'm not coming next week. Don't show up.
Yeah, we'll be here, watch.
I'm sure somebody will message me on Instagram like, hey, where the F are you? That's what happens sometimes. Oh, okay. So ni kochi ni siwa no ni no siwa plastic, my wife's painting. Oh, this is my wife's painting. Ni no siwa. Oh, you want to say this is my wife's painting in Nahuatl? You would say inin or ni no siwa itlapal. This is her painting would be itlapal.
Okay. All right.
Itlapal.
Thank you.
Nosiwa itlapal. My wife's painting. Nosiwa y tlapal.
Tlazohcamati.
Ashtlen. All right. And in other varieties, they like, you may be wondering how they say what color is it? They might say tlen tlapali. So remember how I told you the word tlapali means painting? Well, in some varieties like Guerrero, the word tlapali, it means color. It also means painting, but it means color. So they might say tlen tlapali, what color? Or tlen y tlapal, what's its color? So you might hear tlapali to mean color instead of ishnesca. Ishnesca is the way that they do it in the Huasteca region, but tlapali is how other regions might say. All right. Tlapali is painting. Cuali. Timoitase chicuayillok y mojuantin. Oh no. Castolillok, 2 weeks. 2 weeks is castolillok. Chicuayillok is 1 week. If you notice, chicueyi means 8. In Nahuatl, to say a week from now, you're saying 8 days from now. Chicuayillok. And castolillok means 15. So in 15 days is 2 weeks in Nahuatl. So castolillok is I'll see you in 2 weeks. Castolillok. Okay. Timoitase.
Timoitase.